Hey, good morning. Good to see y'all guys. Sean. Hey, let me start over. Good morning. Good to see y'all guys. This is Sean from the Voice for Dirt Road. Looking forward to having a great conversation with you today. We have a great show put together for you. You're going to get a chance to hear what's actually going on out there in the real world when it comes to agriculture, but also what's actually happening here on my farm. As y'all guys know, we try to do some things that are a little bit different, which is great. But before I get into all of that, let me put up the stool, please, so I can kind of, for all our new viewers, make sure they understand what this show is about. Hey guys, this show is 100% about voices from the dirt road. I know that's what we call it, but that's really what it's all about. We are laser focused on the rural community. What is happening in the rural community? How is it affecting the rural community? But on top of that, as a farmer, as somebody who works in agriculture, how is policies affecting you and your family? So with that, if you put the stool back up again, I just want to talk the stool for everybody. Um, what let me just tell everybody today we got a brand new teammate. She's doing an awesome job. She's the person behind the scenes. I won't say her name, but everything that goes great today is 100% on her, and anything that goes wrong today is 100% on me. We were having a great conversation right before the show started, and we looked up, and I said, "Oh my goodness, it's 7 o'clock." So we had to just jump right into it. But just to let you know, this show, like I said, is laser focused on the rural community. We talk about 3 or 4 different things, and we talk about it based on the stool that we have here. One is livestock. Livestock is the type farming that I'm part of. I'm a cattle producer, but that livestock could be poultry, anything out there across the board, even the guys who are actually have horses and all of those kind of things, chicken production, you name it. That's all livestock. And then in addition to that, we have row crop. And as y'all guys know, here in the great state of Georgia, and really all over the country, at least the southern part of the country, we're inside of a major drought right now. So all of us are hurting when it comes to rainfall. Even though we've been getting some rain this past week or this week, we are still in a deficit. So many of our row crop farmers are struggling either to get a crop in the field, and if they got it in the field, is it enough moisture to make the crop come up? And then over there, all the way over is forestry. In the forestry world, here in Georgia, we have a lot of pine trees, and throughout the South, we have a lot of pine trees. But that forestry community is a lot more than that. And I'm happy to say that we're going to get into the conversation that just the other night, the farm bill, I call it Farm Bill 2.0, passed the House, and we'll talk some more about some of those details. And then ultimately, everything that I just mentioned there, the USDA is the one who actually oversees all of it. They help support us as farmers across the board. Our businesses, you name it, all that falls up under the USDA, Secretary Rollins, and those individuals. And then, as you can see up there at the top, we have been saying over a year now, pass the farm bill. So I'm happy to say that the farm bill has passed the House, but pump your brakes. That does not mean that we actually got a farm bill yet. So later on in the show, we're going to get into that a lot more. But I am happy to say that at some point we may be able to take that off the top of our stool. And as y'all guys know, we've been working extremely hard behind the scenes to try to get this farm bill passed. But we're just about there, but we're not there yet. So with that, let me give you a little bit of an update on what's going on here on the farm. And I the reason why I like to give you just a little update, because I want everybody to know that even though I'm sitting here talking to you about agriculture policy or what else can be affecting you on the farm, I am just like you. I am a farmer. So when I'm not sitting behind this computer, I'm actually outside doing it. And just so happened right now on our farm here in Northwest Georgia, Polk County, we just finished calving season. So if you were watching a couple episodes a few months ago, we had about, I think, 12 or 14 calves. Those calves are growing right now, but 45 days went by. After 45 days, we turn back around and we go back through the artificial insemination process. That's AI, for our cows to get them pregnant to have the next set of calves for next year. For y'all guys to know, we don't actually run a bull on my farm. We do bring a bull in for cleanup afterwards, and I explain some of that. But what we actually are doing here on the farm, I and my team, we actually purchase semen from all over the country of some of the best bulls in the entire country and sometimes in the entire world, based on certain criteria. Some of that criteria is making sure that's going to produce the best meat, but also we want to make sure our cows are gentle, so that you don't get out there and get hurt with them. That is very important to me, especially when the grandkids come. I want to make sure that the cows that I have on the ground, that I feel comfortable putting my grandkids out there and kind of going from there. But the other piece that it helps us with our genetics, and what I'm going to be showing you here in just a minute, some people would call it high level science. I just call it just trying to improve your herd, trying to improve your farm. And what I do when we are not on this show, other farmers come to my farm, and not saying they learning anything from me, because I work with my veterinarian, but other farmers can come here and see exactly how we're doing it, why we're doing it, and have those type questions, because what I want to do is just be an example to other farmers to say, hey, you don't have to do it the way I'm doing it, but you at least could try it. So with that, I want to take the time. This was this past Wednesday. I'm going to pick my phone up just so I give you the facts just real quick here. This past Wednesday, the AI process, at least the one that I'm following, is a 10-day process. And day 7 was Wednesday, February 29th. I think that was Wednesday. No, yeah, that was Wednesday, whatever the 29th was. And this video that you're going to see is actually from Wednesday. But the key thing about Wednesday is not just Wednesday. It's Wednesday at 4 o'clock on the dot. When you're doing AI, everything, you have to follow the protocol, but you also have to follow the exact time the vet gives you. And just so happened, this was Wednesday at 4 o'clock. And then today, which is day 9, currently sitting here talking to you this morning, is May 1st. At day 9 at 4 o'clock this afternoon, rain or shine, who cares? I would have to be out there doing the next step, because in the morning, at 8 o'clock in the morning, the vet will be here and we'll film some of that. The vet will be here actually getting my cows pregnant and kind of going from there. And then just to go on and finish this out before we show the video, roughly about 9:30, 10 o'clock, because it's going to take us probably about an hour to get through all the cows tomorrow. My cleanup bull will come immediately, so that next year, what I want to try to do is have all of my calves within a 30-day period, so that next year's calf crop all come basically about the same time. But then when it's time to sell them, they'll all roughly be about the same size and kind of go from there. So we're trying to use some best practices, trying to use some science in behind everything that's going on. But with that, enough talking. Let's show the video. You might have your good little chuckle there. So please play the video. Yep, this is the first step in the process, or actually it's not the first step. This is like day 7 of the process. What we're gonna do now, we got to give her a shot of Lutalyse, and then I got to pull this device out of her. But you got to make sure you have your gloves on, because you get it on your hands, it can have great effect on you. So let's go and get it pulled out. And just like that, it's out. We'll take this direct over here. And it's done. And one of the things I'm going to do every time, I'm actually going to use a new set of gloves. cost me a little bit, but at least I'm not transferring anything to my needles. Then after that, what we do, we got to come, give her a shot of Lutalife. I loaded the Koreans in advance. You get 2 cc. And it's done. Put the needle back on here, put the cover back on. Put this back in here, keep it clean. And it's 4:05. We're supposed to start at 4 o'clock. First cow done, get the rest going. All right, we're gonna keep doing that now for the next 14, 15 cows. Have a great day. As you can see there, things went extremely well that day. The cows were very calm. When you doing these type things, like you do anything when it comes to science, you need to always be wearing gloves. You don't want to get the cow sick. You don't want to get yourself sick. I won't go into all the details on it, but this is the things that we're doing behind the scenes. But also, this is the same thing that many farms across the United States is actually going to. They still have a live bull that's on some farms, but this is what some of the smaller farms are going to, because bulls cost so much, but you can actually get that same quality by doing AI procedures. So enough of that. What I will do for you is I probably won't film anything today, because today is nothing more than a shot, but I will film some tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, rain or shine. We will be getting these cows pregnant tomorrow. And then on top of that, roughly about 9:30, 10 o'clock, the cleanup bull will come so that anybody who didn't get pregnant, he will get them pregnant, and with hopes in 9 months, if you don't know, a cow has a calf in 9 months, that all our cows we have in their calves roughly about the same. We'll see that my plan worked 9 months from now. Let's go and change gears a little bit. We're going to start talking about what else is going on in the great state of Georgia with the forest fires. As y'all guys know, southeast Georgia has been having 2 fires that's going on. One is called the Pineland Road fire, and then the other was Highway 82. I know exactly Highway 82. I think most of us know Highway 82 because we take that as on our way down to Savannah. But both of these fires right now are still not contained. The Pineland fire is roughly about 23% contained, and Highway 82, as of last night when I looked at this, is roughly about 37% contained. My understanding, because I have family down in the Savannah area, is that they have been getting some rain. However, it hadn't been the rain that we've been getting up here in Northwest Georgia. And I thank God for the rain we've been getting up here in Northwest Georgia. But when it makes it down there, it's just more of a mist. So it's not been enough rain to actually help contain the fire. But one of the things I want to do this morning is play a short little clip from Macon, Georgia, and let them give you a better idea of what's going on, because I know many of us got family down in the area, and we just want to just go up front and say we praying for all the families, for everybody who's actually lost their houses and farms and everything else. And this fire is not over yet. So can you play the video, please?
In this midday, firefighters across the state are making progress containing the wildfires. The 2 biggest fires have burned a total of more than 55,000 acres. The Clinch Pineland Road fire in Clinch County has burned over 32,000 acres. It's now contained only 23%. Crews also have determined the 10-day-old fire was accidentally started by a welder. Over in Brantley County, the Highway 82 fire has burned more than 22,000 acres, only a third of that being contained. Firefighters say even though some areas got rain, it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, like I said there, it's these fires have been going on now. It feels like it's been about 2 weeks. Don't quote me on that. But we hopefully, and we have help that's coming from all over Georgia, coming from Alabama, coming from everywhere. We have the National Guard out there. Everybody's actually hands on deck trying to get these fires under control. However, I think everybody also understands that Georgia, like many other places, but specifically Georgia, throughout the entire state, we are in a major drought. It's kind of strange that we're being in a drought this time of year because it's supposed to be like rainy season for us, but it's just not happening. So the reality of it is these fires are spreading and spreading and spreading. So we'll continue to keep up on this, but continue to pray for rain, because I think the rain is going to help us in two ways. One is going to help with the drought, but at the same time, hopefully they can also get some rain down there, and that could help slow down the fire so that the firefighters and all the first responders and volunteers can get this containment up to a greater level. I think I saw a clip the other day on the news, or saw something where the governor was talking about that these two fires that we have right now in Georgia are the two biggest fires in the United States right now. So let's just take that, put all those people in our prayers, and continue to support our firefighters and first responders, because I know they rotating them in and rotating them out. And when I say rotating them in and rotating them out, it's firefighters that are coming from all over the state and everywhere, going down and trying to help contain the fire itself. Now, I talked about last week that this next show, which is today, I was going to talk about the Farm Bill. When I mentioned the Farm Bill last week, I had no clue that just last night or the night before, depending on how you want to look at it, the House of Representatives passed the Farm Bill. I call it the Farm Bill 2.0. They passed it. It's a lot of great things in it. But before we get to celebrating too much, let's pump our brakes a little bit, is because the House passed it. And when I say passed it, Democrats and Republicans, bipartisan, actually voted to pass the Farm Bill. So it wasn't like one side did it or whether together they passed the Farm Bill. Today I was supposed to go into detail on what was in it. I would encourage you to take some time and read it for yourself. But I will also say this. The House is now on recess. They don't actually come back until May 12th. But then now this bill that just passed, Farm Bill 2.0 that just passed, it is now going to the Senate. However, the Senate is on recess also, and they don't come back until May 11th. So it's not like you're going to wake up today and find out that the Farm Bill passed the Senate, and now we actually got a Farm Bill. We still got some work to go to do. Like I said, there's a lot of good things in it, but I would encourage you to call your senators, no matter where you're at in the United States. Call your senators and encourage them to pass the Farm Bill. I would encourage you to take time out and read it. It is a lot of reading. I think it's roughly almost 800 pages. But I would say you can kind of skim through it and see what's important to you, and make sure that your interests as a person in agriculture or in the agriculture industry, those issues are addressed inside this Farm Bill. As y'all guys know, this Farm Bill is several pieces. The last Farm Bill that we had was from 2018. It is, well, in my opinion, well past due. In addition to that, the Big Beautiful Bill took some of the things out of the Farm Bill and put it into the Big Beautiful Bill. And that was good. The problem is when they took those things and put it in the Big Beautiful Bill, and the 2018 version of the Farm Bills out there, it was like you had apples and oranges. It wasn't matching up. And the USDA was struggling, trying to tell the farmer or the producer, hey, yes, we could do this, because they're still waiting on the final version of the Farm Bill. So now at least we have got Farm Bill 2.0 passed through the House. However, USDA is not going to be able to tell the producer, you and I as the farmer, anything until we get a version that comes out of the Senate. And with that said, we hope that come May 11th, May 12th, when the Senate comes back, I'm not expecting them to touch it on the very first day, but we will be tracking to see when it's going to get on the schedule for the debate. But I would encourage you this week, please reach out to your congressman. I'm going to reach out to my two here in Georgia and say, hey, I support the Farm Bill. I want you to get it there and pass this thing for all our farmers and everybody else across the board. One other things I want to do is just to let you know, here's a letter that was written by almost 200 different companies directly to our House of Representatives. It went in there last week, encouraging our representatives to stop all the fighting and actually get the Farm Bill passed. So that I just wanted to show you this is that many of our organizations that we support, we pay our dues to, like I'm part of the Cattlemen Association. We pay our dues to. We expect them to fight for us in DC, and the Farm Bill is that major fight that we need to have. Now, transitioning. As y'all guys know, the Farm Bill also has another part to it, and that's called the SNAP program. When I was a kid, they called it food stamps. The reality of it is it's designed to make sure the least of us can have food on the table. And it mainly touches our children and our seniors. It has been some debate on the SNAP program, is people getting it or the right people getting it, all those kind of things. The reality of it is the SNAP program is part of the Farm Bill, but the SNAP program is connected to our economic base. So if everybody has jobs and everybody's doing great, it's less people on the SNAP program. But if it was like COVID, where all kind of people started losing their jobs and things were a little crazy, then even people that normally wouldn't have been on SNAP, but they didn't have a job anymore, they needed to go on SNAP so they can actually feed their families. And then after the economy gets good again, they come back off. So I just want to bring that to your attention, because just this week, Secretary Rollins is talking about the SNAP program, and we're celebrating something. And I'm the first one to say, yes, anybody who's on the SNAP program and shouldn't be on the SNAP program, we need to get them off of it. However, we also need to be being clear with the American people that, hey, it's still a lot of people out here hurting right now, especially when you drive your car or drive your truck and can try to go to the pump. Things are very expensive. So with that, just real quick, we want to touch it because the SNAP program is part of the Farm Bill. Most people don't actually know that. And I want to make sure that when that Farm Bill gets passed, is that SNAP program is still there to take care of our most needed, our most less needed, our people that needs the most. All right, can you play the video from
Secretary? You've got some new news to break with us this morning. You know, federal data revealing 4 million fewer Americans are receiving SNAP benefits in the first year of this president's second term. These numbers are coming from your department. Enrollment falling 4.2 million people. And this is after the passage, of course, of the big, beautiful bill last July. What can you tell us?
Well, it is a really big piece of news, and obviously there's a lot going on in the world, but back here and in the homeland, what are we doing to make sure that the president's promise to return the power to the people to drain the swamp is really happening? Under Joe Biden, the SNAP program, the food stamp program, grew by more than 40%. Of course, I believe they were buying votes for the election, putting as many people on as they could. Within the first hour of me being sworn in last February, we sent a letter to every governor in the country saying, partner with us. Let's make sure that this program is really working for those who need it the most. And as of just a couple of days ago, we now have moved 4.3 million Americans off of the food stamp program. A lot of that is fraud. A lot of it is people taking the program that shouldn't have been. And then a lot of it is just a better economy. We've had a wage growth that has outpaced inflation for the first time since early 2021. This is a really big day. So people don't don't need food stamps. And that's the goal of these government programs. Let's move people from welfare to work. The dignity of work is a real thing in this country.
As you can see there, we still got some work to do on the food stamp program. I agree that if somebody's on it and they shouldn't be on it, we need to get them off of it. But I also want to just say that we need to make sure that we're being very clear with everybody is that a lot of those people that were on the program, those numbers that we're talking about is from the SNAP. I mean, from when we had the crisis across the board. So I'll just leave it at that. But we will continue to follow it very closely. But the only reason I wanted to talk about the SNAP program is because the SNAP program is part of the Farm Bill. And I want to make sure, one of the things that Sean Harris wants to make sure is that in the future, if we ever have another government shutdown, the SNAP program is considered essential. That means everybody who actually administers the SNAP program, from DC all the way down to the local office, all of those people continue to come to work because our least people need to make sure that they can actually receive their benefits. As y'all guys know, the last government shutdown, we done had so many, I can't keep up with them anymore, is that there for a while, people weren't receiving their SNAP benefits and they were going hungry. So I want to, that is my thing that I'm going to be saying to my senators now is to ensure that the SNAP program is protected so that if the government shuts down, that portion of the Farm Bill that handles our individuals that need the most, our seniors and our less fortunate kids, they will be able to still receive their SNAP benefits regardless if we can't agree in DC, and it takes us completely off the table. With that, now I just want to move into one last thing. As y'all guys know, and you don't need me to tell you, things are very tight right now in the world of agriculture. Like I mentioned all this whole show, we got a farm bill that's moving, but we still don't have a farm bill. We as farmers, we are dealing with drought. We can't control the weather. Some like myself is praying for rain, whereas others that are out west that are saying, wow, where did all these tornadoes come from? So weather is an issue for our farmers. In addition to that, our farmers are dealing with just the high cost of everything that's happening out there, from gas to diesel to fertilizer, and all that is tied back to our war that we actually have in Iran with the blockade and all those kind of things. I hadn't watched the news this morning, so I'm not 100% sure is what's currently going on. But what I can tell you is when I get in my truck today to go fill it up, that diesel is going to be almost $5 a gallon for a diesel truck. So that cost is affecting our farmers. And then on top of all of that, we still have the tariffs that are actually out there. So it gets into, if a farmer can actually plant the crops and do all the things they need to do we have a market to actually sell our crops? So we will continue to monitor all these things. The only reason I bring this to your attention is because farm bankruptcy in 2025 has jumped up by 46%. That's right here in Georgia. So I'm not talking about some place that we don't know anything about. I'm talking about right here in Georgia. That's 315 filings in 2025, and this was before that we got into all this situation that we have, the extreme costs when it comes to the effects of the war with Iran. And it doesn't look like the war with Iran is going to slow down anytime soon. We pray that it will, but the reality of it is the Strait of Hormuz is still closed, and as long as that thing is closed, prices are going to go up. I think just yesterday, a barrel of oil went to $124,000. Don't quote me on, I mean, $120 per barrel, which is extremely high. And I think it's going to continue to rise And when you hear that, what that equates to is about another 5-10 cents at the pump. And right now in my area, we got guys that are cutting hay. In addition to that, we got guys down south that are in the process of planting peanuts, soybeans, and all those kind of things. So fuel costs becomes a big issue. So let's just kind of make sure that we keep our farmers in your prayers, because right now is a very stressful time on the farm across the board. I try to keep it upbeat on this show, but the reality of it is we have a lot of brothers and sisters that are having to file bankruptcy, losing their place. And then on top of that, we are running into a situation where our young people that want to get into agriculture cannot afford to get into it. And I'm concerned that we potentially may run into a situation where the American farm that as we know it will not exist anymore. So with that, I just want to move on to the next thing, like I always do every week, is just focus on mental health. Because I know our farmers are struggling out there. We got a lot of good things that are happening. Like I already mentioned, we got the farm bill passed through the House. That's great. Now we got to put our hands back on the plow and get it through the Senate. I just want to emphasize to you again, call your senator. But if you're also struggling today, make sure you call 988, and somebody 24 hours a day will answer that call and help you get through today. If you can just get through today, I promise you the sun will come up tomorrow, and it'll turn out to be okay. And we can get you some help. The last thing we need is for our farmers to think that they out there on the island by themselves and nobody cares, because I know our friends and families that live in our cities also care about our farmers out here, and they want them to continue to produce food for us. And I just want to make sure that our farmers know that we care. We care for your families, we care for your kids, and we appreciate all the hard work that you're doing. And today, when I'm out there on my farm, rain or shine, I don't know where it's going to be doing at 4 o'clock, but when I'm doing it, I'll be thinking about all the farmers out there, because a lot of us are doing some of the same things. And we do it because we love it. It's not easy, but we love it, and we want to produce food, quality food for the American people, and actually also for the world. So with that, hey, it's been a great talking to you this morning. We've been on the show roughly about 30 minutes. I told you I like to try to do our shows in roughly about a 30-minute pop. I'll make it nice and short and clear. But what we will do this afternoon, we'll film a little bit, but especially tomorrow morning, we will definitely film that particular whole process. We'll make sure I protect my veterinarian and all those people, so you won't see those guys on the screen. But we will try to show you the best way possible of exactly how we get the cows pregnant, and hopefully in 9 months we'll have about 15, 16 calves all coming out at about the same time. With that being said, hey guys, my cup is empty. Have a great day.